Okay, welcome back. What I want to do today is to provide you with some old time information. Okay, now most of you are familiar with printers now. Okay, but there was a time when printers actually was new and they had to be understood and be used, and there were different types of printers. But today we obviously have various types still, but they've become somewhat more commonplace now. Okay, and you don't hear too much about a laser printer or a dot matrix printer, etc. But at that time, those were the printers in the game, and they is what we became familiar with. Okay, but anyway, I just want to provide you with a little bit of old-time information. I hope you will find it useful. Okay, and again, feel free to again do your own additional research. Now we started off with a little old-time printers and printing, okay, and that's what the printers was like in the olden days, back in the 1760s or something or the other, like that, okay, probably even older than that. Sorry about that. Okay, and here we have a print overview. Now let me just keep going a little bit so we can get this text in full. Okay, printers are a vital part of modern day systems, etc. I'm not going to read this to you because you can read it for yourself, but it's just to let you know that the type of printers that existed at the time and what they look like. Uh, we had electrographic type laser printers and sprayed inkjet printers, so forth, dot matrix printers, okay, and so forth. Okay, let's just get that in for you, okay, okay, okay. Again, this is all just purely about printers, and the idea here is to give you some information again. And again, here we have understanding dot matrix printer, what we call dot matrix printer then, and we were quite upper class if we had a dot matrix printer in our time. Okay, let's just give you that information that you can see that for yourself. You don't need me to read this out to you. It's just for additional information and purely for your own edification. So feel free to use this information. Let's make sure we get it in frame. Okay, and here we have our modern day, or I should say more familiar understanding inkjet printers. Okay, and let's just go down a little bit to this here, and I'll go down a little bit so we can get this into view. Okay, okay, that's the idea. Bring that into to view. Okay, and we'll bring him up a bit. Okay, so we capture everything. Okay, and just get the text in place. Now, color in inkjet support. Now, there was a time when printers was quite expensive to buy. Okay, costing like well over £1,000 for a printer and so forth. But as time became moved on and they become more popular, the cost and the price actually dropped. Okay, they became more economical to use and purchase. Okay, let's just make sure we got this in view. Okay. And here's your big industrial printers that existed then. Okay, and again, just additional information on this. Let's come back a little bit, make sure we can get it all in. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's get the text in, so because that's what you'll need to read for yourself and look at. Okay. Okay. We're on to additional information. Okay, there. Okay. Okay, and then you can see that here we have what we call Lexmark printer and so forth, but things have changed, moved on now to good question to Pixma, so forth, etc. Okay, and again here all I'm going to do is just bring this in so you can see it and read it for yourselves. Okay, right. Okay, and again here I'm going to bring this in for you. You don't need me to read this to you, you can capable of reading this for yourself, but what it does show you here is that print quality and the resolutions. Now obviously print resolution refers to the number of tiny dots per inch the print head is capable of fitting per inch when forming an image. For most of the printers in the market today, the standard resolution then is 600 dots per inch. But as you know, we now have high definition printers which can go up to. However, the high-end production printer might have a resolution of 2400 dots per inch, and I think that may even have been surpassed now, something like 3 to 6,000 dots per inch, giving you a higher resolution than previous. Okay, and reliability. Okay, most printers are quite reliable. Okay, and that's all needs to be said. I don't need to spend any time on that. Okay, cost of ownership, and again here we're just looking at the cost of ownership. It's important to check the related costs, what is the frequency of replacement, and how much of each is required to run the printer, yearly or per business cycle. Okay, cost of ownership. Okay, let's just make sure we got this in view. Okay, yes, I believe I have. Good enough. And again, here we have laser versus inkjet printers. Okay, there was at one time there was a competition between the two, basically, but they both do a brilliant job. Just depending on the quality that you want in some cases. Okay. So here you can see that the toner ink in a laser printer is dry. In an inkjet, it is wet. An inkjet printer is about 10 times more expensive to operate over time than a laser printer, etc., etc. So you can read out the rest for yourself. Okay. Connecting a printer. Okay, you have your main leads. Okay, you will know how to do it now. Okay, most people do. So I don't need some serial parallel USB, CSI, and network communication types. Okay, and that's all I'm going to show you here. You can read it for yourself. All this does give you additional information in regards to cabling and so forth. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Type A connector connects to the PC, or there's a chain peripheral, and that's two screws that should be hand tightened. Small computer system interface, a CSI, is a type of interface that uses parallel communications. Okay, and here we have serial parallel USB again, giving you a bit more information on that. Okay, Page description language. Some of the popular PDLS includes printer control language, PostScript, etc. Okay, let me just bring that in for you so you can see that clearly. Okay, and here you have WYSIWYG equal to what you see is what you get. Okay. Okay, let's just take him out a little bit. Okay. Install and updating printer drivers. Having the version of the install printer. Obviously, we're now using, most of us now use Windows 10, but I can remember when we used Windows 95, Windows XP, Windows 8, Windows 7. Okay, and there's been a few other Windows. But you wouldn't believe that Windows 95 was the first initial computer for us, where we can actually use it at our desktop support. Admittedly, there may be others, but for the normal household person, okay. Okay. Inject installation and replacement, etc. Okay. Again, that's just common sense these days. Okay. No need to dwell on anything on this at all. Okay. For media installation and adjustment. Okay. And this is just showing you how cities were being made at the time. Print media is the material on which the final output will be placed. Traditionally, this media has been paper, but recent advances in printer technology allow other materials to be printed upon, such as transparency media, slides, cards, stock, T-shirts, coffee cups, etc., 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 CDs, DVDs. Okay. And install additional printer memory. Now I've done this on my own computer. Install additional memory, bringing it up to 16 gigabytes. But remember, in these days you might only have like 128 megabytes or something of the sort. The memory capacity was very small then. Okay. Here, adding a local printer in Windows 2000. Now look at that. We're going back to Windows 2000. All this is just information that we no longer use, but it is useful to have to know how to do it, because some of us still have computers from that time. I mean, I still have Windows XP. Okay, so anything for me would be useful on that. And again, just additional information. LPT1 has been the most common port for lock printers, but again, you can see that has changed over time. Okay. Okay, and this is just showing you how to print a test page, basically. Okay. I think the principle still stands in now as well in some cases, but it all comes on screen now, so you could just simply follow the on-screen instructions. And again, this is just a hot base printing. It's known as graphical device interface. Okay, so nothing to be overwhelmed at. Okay, let's see if we can get you into here. Make sure we can get you in, right. And here we're just looking at the input outputs sockets. Okay. Get that back. Okay, and then set you in frame. Okay. Okay. Again, just additional information here. Okay, for yourselves. Good. Anything on here that's too difficult to read? Okay, hopefully. Okay, we can bring that into try to read. Okay. Let's pull back a bit. Okay, that's good, I think. I can again configure printer sharing, so forth. Now, you know, your computer will tell you that these days now, okay? So you just go into control panel if you need to organize anything and check your computers to use control panel. If you get into control panel, if you don't know where control panel is, just type it in at the bottom and it will bring it up, okay, automatically. Okay. And here you have just adding a network printer so that more than one person could use the printer, okay? So everybody using the printer would actually go through the server and the server would access the printer for themselves, okay? So. Okay, installing printers, etc. Okay. Again, network printer server. Again, just showing you, a different mode, different type of printer. Print server is a computer that is just dedicated to handling client print jobs. So you have your printer. So because you are using more than one person accessing your printer, you need to have a very large memory capacity to handle the information and access from these various, because these here at the moment just 1, 2, 3, 4 printers, well, 4 computers accessing the printer, but you could have maybe have 8 or 10 or even more in some cases. Like if you're in a college classroom, for instance, then you could end up having something like 20 computers accessing your printer, or wanting to access, so you'll find it forms a queue. Okay. Printer network interface card, NIC, is an adapter that the printer uses to access the network media. Okay, and that's us there basically. Let me just come back a bit so we can get the info. Okay. Okay, yes, we can do that. That's good. Thank you. Okay. And this is just showing you your printer queue. Okay, nothing extraneous about that. Okay. Okay, again here, just telling you setting time in, so forth. Okay. Okay, that will do that. Okay. Printer accessories, so forth. Okay. Okay. Again, here you can read this for yourself. It's just about paper obstruction and how paper should be dealt with. Okay, and just telling you that you need to remove all the pieces of paper from your printer for it to function correctly. Okay. Okay, and again, just read it for yourselves. Okay. Stepper motor problems. Stepper motors are used in printers to position the head and move paper through the printer. Okay. Overloading, however, can damage a motor. Okay. Because they are very delicate motors. Okay. So. Okay, I'm just telling you here about rollers harden over time. Paper slippage on these rollers can cause jams. Solutions that can clean and soften rubber are available as a remedy for this problem. Okay, so by having a clean printer, you make it useful to yourself and keeping it up to date. Okay, one type of paper, nothing to do on that much. Okay, you can read that for yourselves. Okay. Tells you again how humidity, how that should be dealt with. Okay. Paper dusting, okay, use compressed air, etc. Okay, and here we have laser printing process, and it shows you how the laser printing process operates. Let's just see if we can go in, get a clear, good view of that. Okay. Welcome back. Okay. Okay, we can bring that into play. Okay, just tell you about the printing process, laser types. Okay, summary, thank you. Okay, I trust you found this useful, and hope again that you will be able to use this information. Thank you, have a good day, bye bye.